PlayStation Classic has experienced a price drop. You know these little like gaming consoles that come packed with the classic games from a particular era? So there was the NES, the SNES Classic, and in PlayStation they put out one. And when they launched it, it was like $100. Okay, now in my opinion, PS1, not the same nostalgia as like a SNES, for example. That said, man, the OG version of this console, I played a ton, right? So there's a bit from me on a personal level. I'm getting good vibes from that little gray unit right there with the giant Genesis buttons. You know how satisfying opening that
it was
that lid was?
Yeah,
it was so good with a big button.
Yep.
I mean, you don't get big buttons anymore. If you get a button, it's a small button these days.
It's like touch capacitive.
Yeah.
No tactile feedback.
Yeah.
Well, they had a Genesis one recently too, the Mini Genesis.
Mini Genesis.
That's really cool.
So it started a trend. It started with Nintendo. It started a trend. These things, they come loaded with basically what you need, and they work with modern TVs. You're probably aware of these. They were really hot for a minute. Like really hot, like out of stock hot for a minute, as the youngsters say. I hear the youngsters say, in a minute type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeet.
They might say yeet as well. So I count on Willie Doo to keep us up to date around here, because this is like a senior citizen home when it comes to the internet. There's like regular age. You know how they say like there's human years, dog years, then there's internet years. And no one is young enough for the internet, as far as I can tell. Yeah. So we're moving back and forth. We're translating. We got Willie Doo though. So we're in the game. Anyhow, these things took off. They were hot. The PlayStation 1, not so hot. People were like, where's my Gran Turismo? Because I put a lot of hours into that game.
Yeah, that was a classic.
That game taught me a lot about life. Is that possible? I'll just tell you why. Because the agenda and the objective was not as direct, and it was more just like, do what you want with your car. Like, customize it and stuff like this. And many different paths. Like, hey, pick a car from this class. That will be your next car in your garage type of thing. And then upgrades to it and stuff like that. It was less linear.
Yeah.
And so I put hours into it.
Yeah, you put a lot of stock in that car.
Absolutely. And it was your thing. It was like personalized. It was custom. So that was really exciting for me. Anyway, didn't have that title. It had titles like Final Fantasy, Jumping Flash, Ridge Racer, and Tekken 3. I'm sure there's some good titles on there. But anyhow, the exciting part here, the reason I'm bringing it up is when it launches $100, now they're like, all right, fine. Maybe it's not as hot as the SNES. So we're going to drop the price to $24.99. Now, $24.99, you're like, man, that's a dinner. You know, that's a fun night. That's a fun night for $25. Also, it's a fun gift for $25. Yeah. You go to someone needs a birthday gift, $25. I mean, it's a totally different proposition at that price point. There's 20 titles on there. We got Metal Gear Solid. I mean, I'm in it for the dialogue and the soundtrack. Metal Gear Solid, Twisted Metal. Come on. Of course, Final Fantasy I already mentioned. There's a bunch more. You could check it out for yourself. Did it have Tony Hawk 2? I doubt they got the Tony Hawk 2 on there. I mean, Willie Doo could check into it. He can tell us what the exact list is. Bring up the 20 games. We'll get into it real quick. I guess it's important if you're considering this. PlayStation Classic, yeah. This will list the 20 titles on the Wikipedia page. 20 preloaded games. Grand Theft Auto, one of the early versions of it. Wow, that's crazy. I remember that version. I had that version on PC, actually. It was the above the top-down version of the game. I thought, oh my, we're stealing cars. This is wild. Okay, Battle Arena to Shinden. Cool Borders 2. The snowboard game. Wow. OG Grand Theft Auto, Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil Director's Cut. Keep scrolling here. See, the thing is, it shouldn't be Ridge Racer. I apologize, but it should be Gran Turismo anyway. Siphon Filter. Oh, man. I had that game. Tekken, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. So I get it. Look, some of these are more niche titles, not necessarily the biggest titles for the platform. But for $25, there's some entertainment in there, and there's a cool gift for somebody in there as well, in my opinion. Price dip. Now, if you go back to that other article you were on there, Will, it said the price was different at a few different places. It looks to me like Amazon and Best Buy are going to have the $24.99. And what do you have there? The price dropped over the next few months, 60, 40, then 30. Okay, Best Buy and Amazon have it at 25. So maybe it might be a little bit more somewhere else, but as of right now, $25 Best Buy, Amazon, one of the cheaper classic consoles you can get for little nostalgia drip, so to speak.